Alright, so today we are jumping back into the limit breaking quest, this time to try out potentially what is the best team that you can use this time around, and maybe at the same time use an additional team, assuming you didn't pull any of the new characters. So in this case, team number 1 is the new Jushiro, Renji, and also Magic Society Giselle. And then team number 2, we are going to be using this team. Keep in mind though, my team is kind of more worked on. So if you were able to replicate my team, whether it's team number 1 or 2, it will look a tad bit different your way if your characters aren't built as mine. But regardless of transcendence or investment, these two are definitely the best teams, whether you have the new characters or whether you don't have the new characters. So when it comes to slot 1, Jushiro is a power ranged Aaroniero killer. Quite easy why we are going to be bringing him. And remember, the special thing about Jushiro as a character is that he is going to give the entire team 10% strong attack recharge every time we move into another map. So of course, that's going to be very important. Slot number 2 is going to be Renji. Renji is the best character for this. The second best character you can bring is likely 9th anniversary Grammy or 1000 Year Blood War Giselle, who by the way is returning. Her banner is releasing tomorrow. I am not talking about that in its own video. It is terrible. I don't recommend summoning on it, but the only reason you would summon on it is if you are a Giselle fan. If you are, good luck, because yeah, the filler pool is terrible. But the thing with Renji as the character, no one's really able to even get close to him. Like, it's a massive difference in terms of DPS, right, this character can offer. Ultimately, it is because his damage output is significantly higher, especially given that he does get all the damage rolls here, but he also has burn and lacerate. That's one of the reasons why Ishin is still used in Limit Breaker. This is just adding extra millions of damage when you aren't damaging the enemies, because the burn and lacerate just eats so much HP from the enemies that have poise. And then Giselle I'm only bringing because I have a max transcended. To be fair, I also have a max transcended Ishin, but if you don't have Giselle, just bring Ishin. If anything, I'll admit that Ishin's probably easier to use, but since I have Giselle max transcended, we might as well. Now the build across the board is basically the same: as much recharge and full stamina as possible, increasing their strong attack damage as much as possible. My Jushiro is 2 out of 5. My Renji is 2 out of 5. And my Giselle is max transcended. Alright then, so here we go. Let's see how far we can go with the best team in Limit Breaker right now for this month. Again, one great thing that we are going to see with Jushiro in particular is that we can have our strong attacks recharge in between stages right from the get-go as well. In the long run, it doesn't make that much of a difference when compared to characters like Ichigo and also Soifon, who also have the built-in recharge, but they have it through enemies defeated bonuses. So the first couple stages as you are building up that enemies defeated bonus is a bit slower, I guess. So we do save a bit of time that we can make up for in this. Let me grab that though. SA3 didn't get the chance to fully use it. Not the best stage 7, admittedly, but SA2. One more strong attack. Nice and easy. 50 seconds in already onto the first or second point stage. In this case, we're going to use SA3. Knocks all the enemies down. More often than not, it does inflict the burn and lacerate. You can see there, we can finish with the Nat String super fast using a character like Renji. Absolutely insane DPS unit. We're always going to open up this room with the SA1 because it does have the most amount of hits. And we want to make sure we do paralyze, or sorry, dominate everyone when using Giselle. So Giselle's a bit risky because you never know what enemy is and isn't inflicted with dominate. That's where I kind of prefer using a character like Ishin. Because sometimes, you know, an enemy just doesn't get inflicted and then hits you out of nowhere. And it ruins the run, you know? So again, we can make mistakes there. We actually could have killed that entire room with 2 strong attacks, like we did here actually, which is ideal. I mean, it doesn't matter because we get the spam anyway, but if you can kill a room with 2 strong attacks, you want to go for it. So in this case, let's just use our 3. I'm going to use my 1 once more, similar to Giselle here. Increases the chance of inflicting the stat element, so it's better to always use the 1 first. SP boost wears off, that's fine, because we're going to use our 1 again. And then finish up with the 3. There we go. Into Renji once more, same strat. I should really try to aim my strong attacks better, because I feel like I can take all the enemies down there with that SA2 or SA1. The burn and lacerate is going to do its job. At this point, all we have to do is finish up with 2 strong attacks. Renji is insane. Absolutely insane. So we go again, same strat, SA1. We're going to back up just in case. Seems like everyone did get inflicted. And then use all our strong attacks when we can. And then finish off the 1. There we go. Really good. Again, it's great that we have 2 characters here that are all about dealing on most of the, not most of the damage, at least with Giselle, definitely. But a lot of the damage from stat element. So, That's why damage over time starsments are really good when it comes to limit breaker content, because it just allows you to get millions of damage when these HP for the enemies just start to scale to crazy numbers. So we are currently on 22 now. 23 stages. Killed this one in 2 essays. Nice. And we have 1 minute and 50 seconds to go. We're looking really good on time here. The question now, I guess, is when am I going to use my soul bomb? And truth be told, I don't think I'm even going to use it now. Let's use the EX. SA2. This would be where I want to use the soul bomb, but just in case we get into the next big stage, I kind of want to wait it out. A couple of enemies didn't get inflicted there. Jusho is still killing pretty fast, though. We should kill it with SA1. There we go. We're going to use our soul bomb next time we get to that stage, you know. Let's SA3. Do I even want to use my EX? Like, do I need to? Because look how fast we clear. I don't think we need to. It's like, it's just been consistent all round. Look at that. We don't even need to use our EX. Renji is such a damage powerhouse. Maybe we can actually get further than this. Oh, hold on. Back up. Let me use the EX. Enemies are kind of all over the place here. It's fine that all our strong attacks are back. SA1. There we go. Lovely. So 40 seconds left. We've definitely reached 40, but now the question is, can we kill the big poise stage with a character like Jushiro? And vice versa, can we actually get... Do we have enough time that we can go into Renji's stage and clear his one? Because then we can get into like 35. Potentially. That's 2. 3. There we go, lovely. Good round right there. Fortunately, we can actually cancel Renji's there, so... I think no matter what, whether we use a soul bomb or not, we're kind of hard stuck with this team on 34. Because we got 3 here, and then soul bomb 2. We need a bit more time. We need a bit more time. Unfortunately, SP was war off 2. So with this team, it doesn't really matter where you use your soul bomb. You're kind of hard stuck 33, unless I got more dupes into Jushiro, right? If anything, the character that matters the most here with duplicates, it is Jushiro. Because Renji's dupes don't matter. Because look at this. Stage 8 was the poised enemy stage, 11 seconds. 17, 13 seconds. 26, 15 seconds. Like, time just doesn't matter with Renji because you're going to use 3 of your strong attacks, and then by the time your next 2 strong attacks come back, the burn and last rate does so much damage that you just outright kill them. Again, I said this in my Renji showcase. I would love a 1-character limit breaker quest to see how far they can go, and I really do believe a character like Ishin, but more specifically Renji, can get the furthest. Or at the same time, if we had a Renji in slot 1 and also 3, this team can definitely get super far inwards to the 40s. Because it seems like no matter how much HP they add onto the enemies, again, stage 26 and 17, like this, the clay time is the same, and we didn't even use our EX boost. But pretty much this team didn't use its soul bomb or EX boost, which is kind of crazy to think about. And yeah, even Giselle did pretty good, of course. Mind Max Transcended, again, you can use Ishin, but the damage from dominated enemies is actually pretty good. Second stage 18, and then stage 27 was on the slower side, 20 seconds, but still good nonetheless. So when it comes to our second team, I guess the best team that you can use without using the best in slot for slot 1, 2, and 3, we have Grummy, Ishin, and also the renewed version of Aizen. Again, always great. I've been saying this a lot. Grummy and Ishin have been some of the more usable characters when it comes to limit breaker content, especially when you do have them duped out. Grummy is more important being duped out here because he relies on his raw damage output. Whereas again, Ishin, while he does have high damage here, a lot of the damage is coming from the burn and lacerate. Still recommend using this team if you don't have them duped out as I do. But in slot 1, the build is basically the same when it comes to using Aizen. This time though, because I do have access to Jushiro, we are using him as an EX skill. So we're getting 14% strong attack recharge and the extra 22% berserker, which again is multiplied with the fact that Aizen already has pretty good berserker built in. So that's really good. Grummy's build is pretty much the same, always giving the characters long shot when we can, and then same goes for Ishin. So I feel like this Aizen does make for a good character in slot 1. And maybe for future limit breakers too, because he doesn't get most of the damage modifiers here, but he is a power range character, so it does help him out. But what I've found is that if your goal is just to clear like 20 stages with this team, Aizen makes quick work of the poised enemies, because what you'll do in the first time around, or we gotta be careful not to actually get hit with the weakening hit, but what you can do with Aizen is use your EX attack, which is a crazy vortex, and very likely to inflict stars elements on all the enemies. The damage from Dominate does most of the work. Oh, that's unfortunate, so we do not want to get frozen. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So like I said, we want to go here, use our EX, SA1, SA2, and then all the damage from Dominate is just going crazy, especially with these enemies here, where they all stay next to each other and just do AoE damage. So you make quick work of that first stage here. And then next time Aizen comes around, we'll just use our Soul Bomb, you know? So Grammy is going to be a bit awkward here. Then we do have the Vortex of Frenzy free. And we have the benefit with both Aizen and Grammy that we can inflict drain. So we do take damage. The run isn't over necessarily. Like now, for example, we can just use our SA2. Get back up to full stamina. On the messy sides, I probably want to make sure the enemies aren't too close to me, so they don't lunge away. But stage 2 is definitely going to be the slow one here. Because again, you're going to see with Ishin, we're going to kill super fast. So SA free. Everyone's already affected with the Lacerate and Burn. And then at this point, we just kind of stay away. We don't want to get too close. Just make sure the Burn and Lacerate does the job. And then finish up with one strong attack. SA1 there. Okay, that wasn't the best stage there, but it's fine. Again, look, we're 2 minutes in. And we're already into our second rotation. And our goal for this team is just to get into 22. And therefore get all the rewards. If it can get into 25, that's great. Let's use our 1. There we go. Might as well save my strong attack free. Back up. Again, we do not want to be hitting the freeze pause. And if freeze plus or Stazman plus, it can be a permanent addition. It's kind of annoying. But I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. In a way, it's kind of nostalgic. Like, I understand it is definitely to promote new units. But it's super easy to dodge these, right? Just gotta change your game plan. So in this case, we're gonna Soul Bomb. That's going to apply the Dominate, SA2, into the 1. And then we can even use our Vortex next time around. But I say it's nostalgic because I remember when 6 stars were first added and we then first got our set of, our first set of co-op epic raids. Not epic raids, just raids in general. It was kind of cool because, like, no character was fully immune to the status damage, you know. And you had to, like, really plan and change your game style, work around the map itself. So I don't fully dislike that statism and plus is a thing. But we did go ahead and use our EX here with Grammy. Not clearing as fast as I potentially want to with this character. I feel like Giselle was a bit better, unironically, when it came to this. So if you have Giselle, maybe give her a try. Definitely try both, you know. We're going to sit back there. We need to wait for our strong attacks to recharge. So there we go. SA3. Into the 2. Again, remember not to get hit because these enemies can hit you. But I got all that damage. And I'll finish up with the 2 there. There we go. So a minute to go. And we are already in to our main rotation in. This is where the run is going to end. But our goal is to try and get all the rewards, which in this case is stage 22. So really good stuff. Yeah, this team can do it. And again, these are just limit break characters that are just great in general, you know. I feel like we're always going to be using Aizen a lot. Because the Vortex into the Soul Bomb is going to make for a very easy stage 1, 2, slot 1, 2, 3, you know, depending on the character. Where you put them in the future. And to be fair, like we'll see now, maybe we're out of time, but I think this team can definitely get into stage 25. You'll see here that even though we have no longer a Soul Bomb, what we can do is use our EX again. And that's going to inflict everyone with Dominate. So you pretty much have 3 guaranteed Dominate chances here when using this Aizen. Because first time you use your EX, second time you use your Soul Bomb, and then third time you get to use your EX again. So look at that. We already got into stage 25 using a team like this. Now again, maybe it won't entirely be the same if you don't have like the same transcendence value, but it's definitely worth using in general to get this far if you don't have any of the new characters. And these are the best substitutes for the most part. Don't have Jushiro, use Aizen. Don't have Renji, use Grammy or Giselle. And if you don't have Magic Society Giselle, then just use Ishin. And even if you have Magic Society Giselle. Maybe it's still worth using Ishin, to be fair, because then he's a great character. So yeah, pretty cool that you can get to stage 25 using teams like this. Basically, none of the characters they want you to use as the desired slot 1, 2, 3 character. But I will say, as we all are already aware, they've been in the game for a while now, over a year. Both Gremmy and Ishin, they are the Limit Breaker Kings. But keep an eye out on Aizen, because I feel like this time, maybe it's lucky he's getting the power, you know, ranged and stuff like that. Maybe he's just lucky that we did get a power range character. But I feel like Aizen's going to be another character that might see a lot of usage in the future when it comes to Limit Breaker, because, you know, the combination of going into the first point stage, using your EX attack, then using your Soul Bomb next time around, and then back to the EX, does allow you to make it quite far. And quite frankly, Aizen was the reason we were able to get into stage 25, because how fast he cleared his point stages. 24 seconds, 17 seconds, and then also 19 seconds. So pretty fast and consistent all around, which is really cool to see. So there you have it. That's this month's Limit Breaker quest using 2 teams. Best in slot and second best in slot. Recommend you guys try out those characters if you haven't already done so. Let me know in the comments how far you guys did get. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.